Hey, what's going on, you guys? Jordan here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, guys, we're finally getting around to the 300 subscriber Q&A video that I've been talking about for months and months and months and months and months and months now that I just have not been able to get around to making. I actually intended to upload this video a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, maybe like, earlier this week. I don't know, but a lot of shit has gone on this month, and it just kind of put a lot of shit on hold. For the ones who don't know, my dog got parvo, which is a very deadly and contagious disease. If you're not familiar with it, go look it up. It was a very scary situation, and it kind of put everything that I was doing and that I wanted to do on hold. And so that's why I haven't really been as active in making a lot of content and haven't really been making any progress or being that productive, is because that was a very scary situation for me and my family, and I kind of had to put everything on hold to tend to that situation. But here we are, we're finally back. I want to go ahead and apologize for not making as many videos as I thought I was going to be making over my break from school. I thought I was going to be making videos all month in December, but December has just been a shitty fucking month for me and my family and my extended family and everyone. So yeah, I don't know. I might be able to pump out a couple more videos, between now and the time that I go back to school, which will be in like mid-January. But who knows? But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this video. For the ones who don't know, I posted on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all my social media accounts that I wanted to do a Q&A video for 300 subscribers, which we hit like a couple months ago. So this video is like very overdue. And luckily I did get a couple questions. I actually got more than I thought I was gonna get. So I'm very grateful for that. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into these questions. I'm gonna try to be as honest and straightforward with them as possible and not try to take up too much time on each question. So let's go ahead and jump right into them. So first up, it's from Chris, aka Sir Rapturous. He says, my question for you is, what thing would you change on YouTube if you had the opportunity to do so, and why is that? So this is actually a pretty easy question for me to answer. I'm not gonna dive real deep into it, but just to kind of give you the short answer, I would change the saturation on it. For the ones who don't know, if you're not very familiar with how YouTube's working and everything, YouTube is very saturated right now. It's become more and more saturated, and it's gonna continuously get more and more saturated as time goes on, which basically means that if any of you have ever heard the phrase, the small stay small, the big get bigger, that's basically because of saturation. The platform is very saturated right now. It started back in, I would say, 2015-ish, something like that. And basically the algorithm puts popular YouTubers on top and basically buries all the less popular YouTubers under them. So it's very hard to find the smaller channels who make great content. Like, all my friends make crazy good content. They make insanely awesome, entertaining content, but they unfortunately get buried underneath the behemoths and the fucking monstrous YouTube channels like PewDiePie and Vanoss Gaming and Markiplier and H3H3 and just all these other YouTube channels that are basically running the platform, running the fucking show. They basically get buried underneath all of them, and so that's because of saturation. So if I was going to change anything on YouTube, I would definitely change the saturation. That way everybody grows at a fair rate. If you make great content, if you have decent tags, if you have a decent title, decent description, all that shit, you're going to be found. It's not going to automatically bury you, like under everybody else. Your content has an equal chance to be seen just as PewDiePie's content would, or Vanoss's content would, or something like that. If that makes sense. I don't know if I answered that proper or not, but yeah, that's what I would change. If I could change one thing on YouTube, that would be what I'd change. So yeah, so hopefully that answered your question, man. Thank you for the question, and let's move on to the next one. The next up is from Dr. Blue. He says, congrats on 300. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. He said, my question is, what do you think makes your content unique and different from anyone else's? So I don't really think my content is that unique. I do make funny moment videos. That's kind of what my channel is based around mostly, is like gaming videos and funny moment videos and stuff like that. And I don't really think that's a very unique type of video, because a lot of people do funny moment videos, and a lot of people do let's plays and all that shit. So I don't really think my content is that unique. But if I had to choose one unique aspect of my content, I guess it would be the editing style, because I try to do my own editing style and everything. I try to like have my own techniques and shit with the way that I edit videos. I actually don't watch that many YouTubers anymore. I mainly watch, like my friends and everything like that. I watch, like my friends that I make videos with and all that. I watch their videos, and I watch like a handful of like vloggers. But as far as gaming videos, I don't really watch any gaming YouTubers because I don't like to be influenced by their content. I used to watch Vanoss Gaming, and I used to copy Vanoss Gaming for fucking everything, like per transitions, everything. I used to copy everything about his videos because I used to watch him a lot, and I used to get so influenced by him, and that isn't really what I want, because I don't want people to I don't want people to see me as basically like Vanoss's shadow, like his like little copycat or something like that. And obviously if I'm making the same content that he's making, people aren't, as inclined to watch my content as they are his, because, he's already bigger and all that shit. So, yeah, I would have to say the editing style, I've kind of developed my own editing style, I would say. It's kind of, like my own techniques and stuff to it. But yeah, besides that, I don't really think my content is super unique. I would say my channel is kind of unique because I do a lot of stuff on my channel. Like I am a mainly focused gaming focused channel, but I also do tutorials, how-to videos, things like that. So it's not just gaming videos, it's also a mixture of other type of content. So I would say my channel is more unique than the content that I produce, if that makes sense. Anyway, thank you so much for the question, man. I really appreciate that. Hopefully I gave you a satisfactory answer. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So next up is from Heston, aka HesYT. He says, how do you think you'll get famous? A video suddenly blows up, your channel just grows increasingly faster, etc. So if I'm being truthful, I think if I were to become quote-unquote famous, I think it would be thanks to a shout out from a larger channel, like a much larger channel. And I know that's kind of triggering. It might be a little triggering for you, and for some other people who are close to us, who are kind of like within our inner circle, given the recent situation that we had with a certain somebody, a certain ungrateful, unappreciative individual. But yeah, that's not what I would be like at all. So even though as triggering as that might sound to hear, the word shout out and all that shit, that's not, you don't have to worry about that with me. But if I'm being honest, I think it would be thanks to a shout out. Yeah, I don't really think my video would blow up. I mean, I do have a couple video ideas in the back of my mind that I'm still trying to, work towards filming, like their IRL videos. And I guess they have a little bit of a viral aspect to them. I mean, I guess they could potentially go viral, because they are they do kind of fit in with like a certain genre that people tend to enjoy a lot. There's actually a whole YouTube series of like 3 years that was made about this specific type of genre, and it blew the fuck up and it went crazy. It was great. So I have a couple video ideas like that kind of like sitting in the back of my mind. I don't really think my channel would grow increasingly faster. I do expect my channel to grow just a little bit, but I don't think it will, over time kind of do like the, snowball effect and kind of, start picking up people faster and faster and faster, and then I just blow up into this monstrous fucking behemoth of the platform or something like that. I don't think that's me. I think it's more of a shout out, or maybe just like a lucky video idea or something like that. I have had some videos that had gotten like 300,000-400,000 views at one point, on like an older channel, because it was like kind of milking a trend at the time. But yeah, no, I think overall, I think it would be thanks to a shout out. Like I said, don't freak out. I know we've had some bad experiences with people getting shout outs and then thinking they're fucking popular and trying to sit at the cool kids table and all that shit, with inflated ass egos who are just fucking full of themselves, and then just ditching us and all that. That's not just don't even think about that. Like, that guy's a fucking scumbag. He doesn't know what it means to be an actual content creator. He skipped by, he got lucky. He basically got a scapegoat in a sense. He scapegoated. He didn't want to have to put in the work. He didn't want to have to put in the effort to get to where he is now. and he got the help of somebody else, and he left the smaller guys for the bigger guys, and then if he does the same thing over again, he's gonna leave those bigger guys for even bigger guys. It's just it's just what his type of people do. You know, that's just his type. That's just what those type of people do, unfortunately. But luckily I'm not one of those people, so don't have to worry about that. I do know what it takes to be a YouTuber. I do know what it takes to make good content and everything, and you know, it's unfortunate that happened to us, but it's whatever, you know. It's in the past, it's whatever. He can fuck off somewhere else. I really don't give a shit. But no, I think I would blow up thanks to a shout out, or maybe just a lucky video idea. But thank you so much for the question, man. I hope I answered it to your satisfaction. So next up we have Maddie. She actually asks a few questions here, so I'm gonna try to go through them as quickly as I possibly can. First up, she asks, what did you used to want to be when you grew up? So whenever I was growing up, whenever I was like 5-ish, 6-ish, 7-ish, you know, like around, like whenever I was like a really young kid, I want to be like the typical, you know, cop. I want to be like the, you know, like a firefighter or a teacher. I want to be like a cowboy, which isn't really a profession. That's not really a career. But as far as like jobs, I wanted to be like a firefighter, you know, a cop. I want to be a teacher, things like that. But as I grew older and I started to realize what YouTube was, because I didn't really know what YouTube was back then. I saw, you know, like one video that my brother showed me, but I didn't really understand what YouTube was. But in like my early teenage years, you know, 13, even before my teenage years, like whenever I was 12, 13 years old, whenever I finally started figuring out what YouTube was, and I really started to see just what it meant to be a YouTuber and stuff like that, I guess in like a better phrasing or terms or whatever, I started to want to be a YouTuber. I wanted to be like a professional YouTuber. I wanted to make content, you know, and I didn't really care too much about the money. I just wanted people to watch my content and enjoy it. I wasn't really interested in like the fame and all that. I just wanted people to see my content. And I think that's justifiable, you know. I guess I don't really think it's, you know, asking too much that you want people to see the work that you make, you know, the work that you do, because for the ones who don't do YouTube, they don't know this, but you know, YouTube is a very time-consuming thing. You know, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of motivation to produce content, good content at least. And if you lose a tiny bit of motivation, if you lose a tiny bit of effort, if you lose a tiny bit of time, it could destroy your whole project. It could destroy your entire like project video or whatever. It really takes a massive amount of effort. It takes a massive amount of time. It takes a massive fucking amount of motivation. Just coming from somebody who gets very unmotivated, demotivated, whatever. If I get unmotivated even in the slightest, I cannot at all make a YouTube video. I have to have the maximum amount of motivation possible if I want to be able to make a video. So yeah, I guess it was kind of like a mixture of like police and firefighter and teacher, and I guess YouTuber as I got older. But yeah, so that's kind of like the four things I wanted to be: cop, firefighter, teacher, and YouTuber. I don't really have any other like dreams or like dream careers right now. I mean, I am pursuing film as, you know, an actor, director, whatever. But in the long run, I'd still prefer to be a YouTuber, if I'm being honest with you. So next up, she asks, what state are you from? I am from Mississippi. I am from the deep fucking South. I am probably about, well, besides Florida, about as deep at South as you can get. I live in a small town. It's actually like a small German town. I technically live in a German town, but I really live in like Madison. Okay. Like I live in Madison County. I live within like the county limits of Madison. I don't live within the city limits. I live within the county limits of Madison County, but I live technically, if you want to get technical, I live in which is a very small town. It's not as small as the one I grew up in, but it's pretty small. It's you can Google it. It's a pretty small town. Next up, she asks, where is your dream vacation? My dream vacation, I really haven't even thought about that. Shit, I don't know. First thing that comes to mind whenever I hear vacation is like the beach, but like that's so fucking typical. Like, I don't want to go to the beach because that's like, I feel like that's the typical vacation spot. I want to do something exotic. I want to go to like fucking, I don't know, the rainforest or some shit. No, for real though. I would like to go to maybe like Switzerland, you know, maybe like that, you know, go to like the mountains in Switzerland, you know, and get like a cabin or something like that. I don't know. I think that would be pretty cool. I want to do something that's not really typical for people to do. You know, whenever you think of like vacation, you think of going to like the beach or going into like the mountains in fucking North Carolina or some shit. I would like to go to a new country because I've never been out of the country. I hardly ever leave the state, let alone the country. So I would definitely like to take a vacation to like a different country. I think that would be pretty cool. So I guess I would have to say Switzerland. If not Switzerland, if I didn't have the money for that, I would say maybe like the Bahamas or something like that. Maybe Hawaii. Next up, she asks, have you ever been out of the country? No, like I just said, I have never been out of the country. I would love to leave the country. I hardly ever leave the state as is. I do travel within Mississippi. I've only left the state a handful of times, but and you know, obviously I'm leaving the state for about a week this coming summer. Gonna keep that on the wraps though, because apparently we're keeping that a secret until it gets closer. I didn't know that because I kind of spoiled it earlier this year, but yeah, I've never been out of the country. I haven't really been out of the state that much, let alone the country, but I would definitely be up to it. I would definitely love to leave the country. I might be going to Canada next summer as well, so I might be doing a lot of traveling, and if I'm vlogging at the time, you know, I'll definitely be vlogging that shit. But yeah, I might be going to Canada next summer, who knows. Next up, she asks, what is your all-time favorite video game and why? Man, this is probably the most difficult question for me to answer. I don't really have a favorite video game, like singular. I do have favorite video games, plural, but a lot of my friends aren't gonna like this. I like Uncharted. I like Uncharted. I like the entire Uncharted franchise, actually. In fact, I don't like just one Uncharted game. I like the entire Uncharted franchise, and I like The Last of Us. Hey, what's up, guys? Future Jordan here. Really quickly, I don't mean to stop the video for too long. I forgot to mention in this section of the video where I'm talking about my favorite video games and all that shit, why The Last of Us and the entire Uncharted franchise are my favorite games. Obviously, you know, Maddie asked, you know, why I would choose, you know, whatever my favorite video game is, why they're my favorite video games, and I never explained that. I cannot believe I left that part out, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys right now, just to simply put it, I enjoy both games, well, I guess I can technically say franchises, since The Last of Us Part 2 is coming out here soon. I enjoy both franchises equally just because of the acting and the storylines and the graphics. For the ones who don't know, Troy Baker and Nolan North, they both make appearances in both franchises. Obviously, Nolan North is the main protagonist in the Uncharted franchise, whereas Troy Baker is the main protagonist, Joel, in the Last of Us franchise. Well, I don't know about Last of Us Part 2, I think that's Ellie, but that's besides the point. They both make appearances in each other's franchises, so that, along with the other actors that are acting opposite of them, makes the game like 10 times better. That, along with the storyline, they both have great, like, intriguing, interesting, like, emotional fucking storylines that really reels you in and tugs on your heartstrings. It's a very well put together story. It's well crafted. Naughty Dog really knows their shit in terms of story. Also, The Last of Us and the Uncharted are perhaps the most stunning video games in terms of visuals that I've ever played in my entire life. They're both absolutely beautiful in terms of visuals. It is actually quite hard to describe just how beautiful they are if you have not played the game yourself. Obviously, you can go ahead, if you have not played the game, you can go ahead and Google images of the in-game maps and environments and all that. It's just crazy beautiful. So those are the three reasons why the Last of Us franchise and the Uncharted franchise are my favorite video games. Sorry to keep this part going. Let's go ahead and jump back to past Jordan or whatever the fuck. Honestly, I prefer PlayStation exclusives over Xbox exclusives. I know my friends, they're all Xbox players. They're probably gonna defriend me at this point. But yeah, that I don't have a singular favorite video game. I do have favorite video games, which is the entire Uncharted franchise, Uncharted 1, 2, 3, 4, and The Last of Us, and probably The Last of Us Part 2 whenever it eventually comes out. Yeah, I don't really have a favorite video game. It's kind of hard for me to choose between those. But yeah, hopefully that answers your questions, Maddie. Hopefully I answered them to your satisfaction. Thank you so much for the questions. I really do appreciate it. Moving on to the next question. Next up, we have Brandon. Brandon, aka SloshyGrunt35, he says, why can't you help me with my math problems? Because I suck at math, bro. Like, I failed math in high school. I'm barely passed math in like middle school. And then I'm gonna be taking physics here this next semester, which I doubt that's gonna work out. I doubt that's gonna work out well. Yeah, I can't help you with your math problems. I mean, if you need help with 2 plus 2, 4 plus 4, you know, 5 times 2 or whatever, I'll be more than happy to help you. If you need help with simple addition and subtraction, I'll be more than happy to help you with that shit as well. But as soon as you get into like the whole fucking calculus, fucking pi times x2, and you fucking start getting the alphabet involved, fuck that shit. Like, get a calculator, okay? That's the bottom line. Get a fucking calculator. Moving on, next question is again from Dr. Blue. He says, what is your biggest like and biggest dislike about being a small YouTuber? Now, this is a very good fucking question because we've actually talked about this in the past. My biggest like about being a small YouTuber is that the rules basically don't apply to you. Now, don't get me wrong. If you upload pornography, you upload some racist bullshit, you upload some fucking sexist bullshit, you're gonna get punished just like the rest of the community. However, with that being said, if you upload a copyrighted, like a copyrighted song, you know, or something like that, and you don't get copyright strike, now you can still get copyright strike. I've gotten copyright strike before. You can still get copyright strike, but if you just get copyright claimed, it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt you. What does getting copyright claimed mean? It means what? Your video gets fucking demonetized? Well, props to you, YouTube. You fucking did that like 5 months ago, something like that, almost like a year ago. I don't know. I think it's actually been like 2 years ago. So yeah, no, it doesn't affect us in that sense. However, my biggest dislike about being a small YouTuber is that, again, we get buried underneath everybody else who is bigger than us. We get buried underneath the behemoths of the platform like PewDiePie and Markiplier and all these other huge ass channels. We don't get the recognition and the attention, and I hate to say it, I hate to sound like this, but we don't get the praise that we should for our content. Like, in my opinion, I know not everybody agrees with me, and it's perfectly fine. Everybody has their own opinions. That's the beauty of the world and the beauty of the country that we live in. Everybody has their own opinions, but in my personal opinion, all my friends make amazing content, and they should get the attention that they deserve for it. They should get the recognition, and they should get the praise and everything that they get for it, because it is not easy to do what they are doing. The content that my friends are putting out, the content that I put out, it takes a lot of fucking time to make. And you know, even though my content might not be as good as theirs, their content is fucking extraordinary, and they should get the attention and the recognition that they deserve for it. So that's my biggest dislike about being a small YouTuber, is because we don't get the attention and the recognition, the praise, all that shit that we deserve. And I hate to sound, you know, like entitled, I guess, in lack of a better word. I hate to sound entitled, but I mean, it's true. Like, we deserve more than what we're getting, you know, and I know that sounds like I'm getting a fucking ego. I can promise you I am about as humble as I can fucking get. Like, I don't have a fucking ego, but I'm just being straight up. We deserve a lot more than what we're getting for our content. With the time and effort that it takes to make the content that we make, we should be getting a lot more than just a couple views per video, just being real. And I think that goes with everybody who makes good content, all small YouTubers that make great content. It's a shame that we're getting buried underneath the fucking behemoths, but that just goes back to the saturation, man. You gotta change the saturation on the platform in order to fix that shit. But anyway, thank you so much for the question, man. I do appreciate it. Moving on, though, we have Patrick, aka Kogum. He says, what the fuck is a blue lade? So this was back whenever my channel was called Blue Lade. I've since changed it, which I will also be making a video explaining why I decided to change my channel around and rebrand everything. But basically, the little background, like I guess a origin story, if you would, of the name Blue Lade. Basically, back in February of 2016, I was creating a new account. I was transferring from my Boomers Y2K account over to a new account because there's some people who had access to that account. They knew what I was doing, and I didn't really like that they were following what I was doing, so I just made like a whole another account. It's a long story. And on February 8th, was it February 8th or February 9th? I can't even remember my own fucking anniversary. It was like February 8th or 9th or something like that. I created my new channel, and I was trying to come up with a name for it, and I knew right off the bat that I wanted the color, like I wanted the word blue, like the color, to be a part of the name somehow or another, because I just like the sound of it, and I was kind of hoping people would call me Blue. because I kind of like, you know, whenever people would call, you know, someone else like Blue or something, like, hey Blue, you know, what's going on, man? I kind of like that. I kind of like the way that sounds. So I knew that I wanted the word blue, like, you know, as in the color, to be a part of the name somehow. But then it became a problem to try and figure out what would go after. So I knew I wanted kind of like a word that not a lot of people would probably understand, you know, like that not a lot of people would know. And I started searching like on Google, like, you know, words that aren't that popular, things like that, you know, because I wanted it to kind of, I wanted like me to be like the only one who knew what it meant, you know. And I mean, not that you couldn't search it up on Google and find out yourself, but just like by looking at it, I wanted to be the only one who knew what it stood for, you know, what it meant. I started thinking of Blade. I started to think of like the word Blade, because my first Xbox account back whenever I started playing Xbox was Blade0922, and I started thinking of that, and I was like, Blade. Okay, Blade. You drop the B, because I don't want to have like Blue Blade, you know. I don't want to have two B's in that shit. So I was like, okay, let's drop the EB. What does that leave us with? Okay, Blue Lade? What the fuck is Lade? Alright, so I googled it, and apparently it stands for a large ship. So, to answer your question, Patrick, what the fuck is a Blue Lade? It's a blue ship. It's a blue big ship. It's a big blue ship. That's what it means. That's the origin story of the name Blue Lade. All this time, you guys never knew it. I'm a big fucking blue ship. That's what I was. I'm not that anymore. Now I'm Jordan. But I was a blue ship. So not a lot of you probably knew that. Eventually I ended up dropping just the 1A, and I ended up adding 2 A's instead, so it was like an even bigger ship, I guess. I don't fucking know. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, man. That's a little bit of an origin story for you. Thank you so much for the question. Moving on. Next up, we have another question from Chris, again, aka Sir Rapturous. He says, what drives you in life? Also, what motivates you to keep making YouTube content? So I guess what drives me in life is my passion for creating, like, or my passion for entertaining people. And I do that through creating content on YouTube, and hopefully in the future creating content, you know, for movie theaters and fucking Netflix and Hulu and shit like that, you know. But right now, you know, I guess it's my passion for entertaining people. You know, I've always liked the idea of entertaining people and kind of brightening up people's days, because, you know, sometimes people are going through some shitty times, you know, and just the thought of making their day better, just, I don't know, it's something that's always intrigued me a little bit. So I don't know. I would say probably my passion for entertaining people is what drives me in life. As far as what motivates me to keep making YouTube content, it's just that. It's the passion for making people happy or entertaining people, I guess. Yeah, and so that's what motivates me. You know, I get very unmotivated at times because it's just, I don't know, it's just the amount of work that I put into like the videos. And I just, you know, as a callback to a previous question, the amount of time and effort that, you know, goes into making these videos just isn't really worth the payoff in the end. And so that's very unmotivating for me and a lot of other people. But, you know, whenever I am motivated and whenever I do upload a video like this one, is because I know people are going to enjoy it. I know people are going to look at it, you know, and there's even though it's not, you know, as many as I hoped for, there's still more people, you know, there's handfuls of people who actually thoroughly enjoy my content. And even though it's, you know, sometimes friends, you know, just like, you know, close friends who are like, oh man, that's awesome and all that. Even though it's just most of the time close friends, it still makes me feel really good, you know, to know that somebody at least, you know, enjoys the video. And yeah, so I think that that's what really makes it worth making YouTube content, is that I know somebody's gonna enjoy it at least, even though it might not be as many people as I hoped it, you know, for it to be. Somebody still enjoys it. Somebody still looks forward to me uploading videos. There's people, you know, people are pestering me to upload videos and stuff like that. So I don't know, that's a little bit of a motivator in itself right there. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question, man. I do appreciate it. Unfortunately, that is all the questions that I have. So yeah, that concludes the 300 subscriber Q&A, guys. I know it kind of took a little bit of time to get through some of those questions. I kind of, like, you know, dived a little deeper in than I intended to do, but nonetheless, we made it to the end. You made it to the end. If you made it to the end, click like on this video. Let me know what answer you like the best. I don't know. Let me know what your favorite fucking food is. Just let me know something. I don't know. Let me know that you made it to this part of the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys want to see more Q&As in the future, I'm gonna do one for 500 subscribers if I ever reach that. I'm I'm definitely gonna do one for 1,000 plus some. You know, for the ones who don't know what that means, it means I'm gonna do a Q&A video and something else for 1,000 subscribers, assuming I even make it to 1,000 subscribers. Who knows? I'm already, you know, over a quarter of the way there, but that's, you know, it's whatever. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, please be sure to hit that like button. If you guys want to see more content like this in the future, be sure to smack that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because that's also something else that's fucked with YouTube. That's something else I'd also probably change, Chris. I'd probably change the little fucking notification bell. I'd make it to where if you subscribe to a channel, you automatically get notified of their fucking videos. Otherwise, why would you subscribe to them? But that's, I digress. If you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to smack that subscribe button and turn on notifications if you want to see more content. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button. And with all that being said, guys, my name is Blue. I almost said Blue. My name is Jordan now, and I will see you all in the next video.